Welcome to a Legendarium special about the Gladiatrices, the female gladiators of ancient Rome. In this episode, we will talk about the rise and fall of some of the strongest but also most infamous women in the history of the Roman Empire. In ancient Rome, gladiator fights became popular and widespread throughout the empire, attended by everybody from the poorest drudges to the emperor himself. Gladiators divided into different categories depending on their weapons and fighting styles, and some achieved widespread fame. Souvenir shops allowed spectators to buy mirrors, knives with specially carved handles, lanterns with illustrations from popular battles, and other goodies with their favorite gladiator's face on it. Some gladiators even gained enough popularity to do product endorsements. However, the image of a gladiator in ancient Rome is traditionally male, yet female gladiators, known as gladiatrices, lived, fought, and died. Like their male counterparts, they fought each other or wild animals to entertain audiences. Ancient Romans loved novelty, the exotic, and the outrageous, and female gladiators encapsulated all three since they tended to be rare, androgynous, and radically different to how most women behaved in the Roman Empire. Unsurprisingly, gladiatrices became increasingly popular during the late Republic. Roman editors had to throw games for centuries and had to find all sorts of new gimmicks to keep the crowds entertained. They ranged from giraffes to dwarves to crippled persons to women. In 22 BC, women had become a common enough sight in the arena for the Senate to prohibit all high-ranking men from participating in the games on penalty of infamia, the loss of social status and legal rights. And nearly 40 years later, the Senate extended this ban to all women of citizen rank. Any woman who appeared in the arena could be declared infamous, yet to Roman women who had very few civil rights to begin with, this might not have been much of a loss. Indeed, the Senate passed several more bans against women fighting in the arena over coming generations, which makes one doubt the effectiveness of these often passed laws. Unruly young women who wished to avoid arranged marriages and lead what they saw as a more glamorous life still headed to the arenas. Yet, how did they get there? Women could not attend the ludi, the all-male gladiator training camps, yet young girls could learn gymnastics and even basic combat skills in youth associations called the collegia. Other women who were the daughters of former gladiators learned skills from their father so they could take care of themselves. In the arena, gladiatrices, whether they were a highborn lady or a lowborn slave, wore nothing but loincloths prone to flying up during action and fought both bare-chested and barefoot. Yet they used the same weapons, armor, and shields as male gladiators, which totaled about 30 pounds of iron. They fought with each other, people with physical disabilities, and occasionally wild boars and lions. Most women in ancient Rome stayed within the home and dressed modestly, so these gladiatrices provided a stark and often very exciting contrast. In 66 AD, Emperor Nero impressed King Tiridates of Armenia with a round of gladiator matches that pit Ethiopian women against one another. And it's important to note that while some highborn Roman women went into the arena of their own free will, the majority of them tended to be slaves or former slaves who had no say in the matter. A few years after Emperor Nero came down with a slight case of being stabbed to death, Another round of female gladiators fought each other by torchlight at the nighttime grand opening of the Colosseum, and the Mad Emperor Domitian is said to have pitted gladiatrices against dwarves in the arena. A stone plaque that came from Rome's Asian provinces recorded one such battle between a gladiatrix named Amazonia and Achillea, which is a feminized version of Achilles. It likely reenacted a mythical battle which saw Achilles fight and kill an Amazon queen. Much like male gladiators, gladiatrices developed their own fan followings. If they died in battle, which at least 1 in 10 did, they could expect their fans to throw them a lavish funeral. Of course, gladiatrices ranged from highly trained fighters to female criminals thrown into the arena with either a hungry lion or a highly trained gladiatrix. Of course, not everybody approved of women fighting in the arena. Such persons saw gladiatrices as a symptom of corrupted morals. And this is hardly surprising, for women who chose life in the arena, or had it chosen for them, rebelled against their parents and societal expectations they would become a wife, a mother, and little else. The Roman poet Juvenal mocked female gladiators as too muscular to be attractive and insisted they could barely hold up their weapons. Indeed, an Olympic Games under Emperor Septimius Severus that included female athletes drew catcalls and jeers from the Romans. In part because of this, Emperor Severus banned female gladiators as unseemly and un-Roman. Severus apparently feared that if too many women wished to join the arena and the Olympic Games, then Roman marriage would collapse and Roman society would go with it. Surprisingly, this time the ban seems to have stuck, and it would not be until the year 1900 that women could join the revived Olympic Games, and only then in sports judged suitable for their gender, such as tennis. That wraps things up for this episode of The Legendarium. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, press like. If you want to see more, press subscribe. And if you've got anything to say, let me know in the comments section. Thanks again for joining me, and I hope that you have a great rest of the day.